welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Kaveh Taharian.
And I'm Hannah Hillam. Welcome back.
Welcome to the show. It is mid-July. It's midsummer, sort of. It's midsummer. Yeah, I think.
I've never seen that movie. It's a good
my God, that movie is, it would be fun to watch that movie with you, actually.
You've seen me watching movies. I talk the whole time. It's
I know,
absurd.
but I've already seen it.
Oh, okay.
And one of the fun things about being friends with you is when you watch a movie together, you're like this barometer, or not, I don't know if barometer is the right word, but like you basically absorb whatever's happening into the movie and then like reflect it back. Like you just absorb every feeling and emotion. It was like when we watched Rambo a couple of weeks ago, it was really funny because you got so just intensely invested in what John Rambo was doing in the forest.
Well, I was so mad that they were treating him like that. I'm like, this man fought for your country.
John Rambo, we loved him in the first movie. He was a hero. Then he went and became something else entirely.
A tool of the government, of the imperialists.
It wasn't as fun, but the first one, the first one's great. Anyway, Midsommar. It's midsummer. Midsommar. We will watch that at some point. But
I'm gonna
it's
freak
sweaty
out,
and hot. It's gonna be.
Ew.
I mean, not the movie. I mean, the movie is also hot because it's midsummer. But I just mean it's mid-July now, so it's warm.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I gonna get sweaty during this movie? I mean,
you're gonna get sweaty during what movie do you not get sweaty during?
It's an ordeal to watch a movie. I've said this. I'm realizing now that I've watched a bunch of movies with you, I'm realizing the reason I don't watch movies is because it's an ordeal for me.
I kind of understand it, to be honest. Now I get it now.
I go on like an entire journey.
Yeah.
And then if it's either that or I have to look at my phone and not feel anything. Which,
I understand
again,
that about you now.
I should go to therapy for.
You should go to a film therapist.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, I could be your film therapist. I could talk. I'd be like, here, I prescribe you to watch this movie to deal with your trauma.
It's just Rambo.
It's called Midsommar. It's Rambo again on repeat.
Well, dude, look, it's just Rambo on repeat. Anytime I can. No, I can't even say that on here. No, I can't say it on here.
I know what you're going to say, though.
Yeah.
Yes. If you've watched Rambo, you understand. Remember, First Blood, the first one.
First Blood.
Although actually, you'd probably be into the one where he helps the Mujahideen.
Oh,
I think it's the third one. I want to say. I forget
just
all
like
my Rambo chronology. Friends. Yeah. Oh, right. And did we end up leaving that in the episode, or did that go into like an extra? I forget.
Oh, I think it was in.
What was it called? I forgot. It was the most basic pizza name in San Francisco. I'm totally drawing a blank.
I just, you know what?
I bookmarked it.
We did it as a put on Patreon. So if you want to go join the Patreon. By the way, shout out to Blake who joined today. Thanks for joining.
Blake. Should we start doing that where when someone joins the Patreon, we should just like shout them out in the episode?
100%.
Blake.
We appreciate it deeply. Thank you. Yeah, you can go watch us talk about things that aren't quite good to put on the actual podcast.
I'm sorry. Obviously, it was Goodfellas Pizzeria and Grill.
Goodfellas Pizza. How did we forget?
How did I forget? Yes, that was where they had pictures of the Goodfellas and Ninja Turtles and Mujahideen fighters.
Yeah,
and the owner's an Afghan guy, and I went and talked to him, and I was so excited.
You were like alive. That was, one of the funnest
this is
days.
the greatest pizza place in existence.
Yeah,
I love you. Please go check that place out if you're in the city.
Ever. Famously,
we call it an idiot day with the two of us with Joe.
And it was on my book signing, and I barely remember the book signing. I only remember Goodfellas Pizza and you winning at Pac-Man at the Victorian Arcade. That you wouldn't touch anything. That's the thing. Whenever I think about it, I just think you just picture you being like, ew, no, I'm not touching any of this. And I was
germaphobe.
Like, wow.
Anyway, great start to the episode. It's all very important updates that everybody wanted to know.
Dude.
That's true. Nothing does matter. How is Comic-Con prep going for you as you're getting ready for? Is that
for
even
sure
a loaded question? Yeah.
No. I've been painting a lot of like originals again, getting really into like the magnets, and they've been selling out whenever I go. So, and then I got a new zine coming, and it's called Idea Land.
Idea Land.
All the comics of me not knowing what to draw.
That's fun. Very meta.
Yeah. And a while ago, I did this series called Idea Land, where I go to the gates of Idea Land and it's blocked, and I just beg to be let in, and it never lets me in. And so, anyway, working on that. So come see it. It's next week, everybody. 2 weeks.
Yeah, in San Diego. We're going to be I'm going to be on a couple panels. You'll be on. We'll be on the same panel. But stay tuned till the end of the episode. We'll give you that information. We're not
you better
give
wait.
That information away.
You got to pay.
Get to it. Yeah,
the toll.
The troll toll to get to this
to get
girl's
into this
boy's hole.
boys' hole.
Girls
On that
hole.
note,
So this week you're up first.
I am up first,
and of course
coming off,
the last 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks you were doing the LGBT tabs, and then you were doing during World War II Kuma tab. I'm excited to see what you're going to do that's hopefully out of that era specifically, just to sort of change it up. What do you got?
It's out of that era, and it's a little more scientific, which I, opposite of Kuma tab, where we just make up scenarios and new laws for physics and stuff. And but this one, I'm
undiscovered laws of physics, by the way.
Thank you, undiscovered laws of physics.
Every law is undiscovered until it gets discovered.
And we're going to be the ones to decide that someone can turn into a kaiju.
Yeah, listen, my dad's a scientist, right? I'm a nepo scientist, baby.
You're right.
I'm a science nepo baby, I guess.
Love the poetic reality that your dad is like a big brain scientist and you're an artist.
And I'm an idiot. Science couldn't help you there, Dad. I'm a dipshit.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Doink to doink. I swear to God, we're going to get to this tab eventually.
I don't know if we will. Look, I'm being fueled by pure panic alone.
Nice.
Which is great. Never bad.
That's my everyday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So hard left into science. And I'm always excited for science until I get into it. And I'm like, what have I done? Why have I done this to myself?
Yeah.
But I was in too deep. And I'm like, I need to see this through. So astrophysicists and people who study the sun, please forgive me. I'm doing my best.
Famous 500 open tabs, incredibly popular amongst astrophysicists and people who study the sun. The people who listen to our podcasts are basically one step away from wanting to launch themselves into the sun. That's why they're listening to our podcast. I say that as a person who is... I consider myself in that category, by the way. That's not a judgment of our audience. You always say, they're basically the versions of us. We're all like, this is the only thing that keeps me from losing my mind and wanting to walk into the ocean or launch myself into the sun, or just facts. Interesting facts.
This one's full of interesting facts. And it's not heavy on the science, but I am going to talk about solar cycles for a minute. But before I get into that, I got to start at the beginning. This week's tab is
the sun at the Big Bang.
When the sun, when everything, the Big Bang happened, and dinosaurs or whatever happened after that.
Okay, Terrence Malick, let's hear it.
I get that reference.
Okay, listen.
I don't.
One day, I'm your movie therapist.
I have to keep talking.
Please, keep talking. I'm sorry.
So, this week, I like it. I like it. This week's tab is on the Carrington event. Have you heard of the Carrington event?
I don't care for it. No.
Wow. This Carrington does, this man. So the Carrington event was a massive geomagnetic solar storm that occurred in 1859, and it fully freaked the entire world out. And it also led to the birth of the study of space weather, which I didn't know was a thing.
I didn't even know space weather was a thing.
Me neither.
What? Does it space rain?
No, it's just space storms. It's like the sun will just like bloop blop, like spit out a bunch of plasma, and then it'll like hit our earth, and geomagnetic electrical storms will just... Anyway, I'll get there. I'm already ahead of myself.
No, I'm like what? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. I've never even heard of this. Famously, like I said, I'm an astrophysicist and I read about this stuff all the time, so I'm surprised I haven't come across it.
Where is he?
My dad's really into, I think, string theory or quantum something or other. My dad's retired. And every time I call him, and like I don't hear from him as often as I used to because his life has no structure. And I talk to him and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh yeah, I just watched 4 hours of YouTube videos about like astrophysics or like string theory or some thing where I'm like, bro, just make friends. Like go, and he's got friends, but I'm like, do that more. Yeah, my dad's like the opposite of getting radicalized on YouTube by like bad things. He's radicalized in that like he's extra science now.
It's like how my grandma was radicalized to be a leftist.
Yeah.
I was like, all of my friends' grandmas are not like, they're all going the other way. And my grandma's like, we should absolutely have workers' rights for everyone. She's like this 80 or 90-year-old leftist, which it's like, hey, no excuse for anybody. Anyway, shout out to your dad.
He probably watched a YouTube video on this at some point.
Oh, I'm sure he has. So I opened this tab originally a year ago when I was reading about last year's solar storm in May. And if you remember, we could see the Aurora Borealis a little bit down here. I missed
Aurora Borealis?
Yeah.
entirely contained within your kitchen?
I don't know what that's about.
Steamed hams? Hello? That's been memed to death.
Oh, yeah,
The
Simpsons. I'm
Simpsons.
an idiot.
At this time of year, in this part of the country,
Just
localized entirely in your kitchen.
okay.
May I
No,
see it?
I remember the
No.
visuals for it.
Good. Aurora
I
Borealis.
again take me out behind the shed and put me down
And
because
air fry me.
I have gone. I have my brain is deleted. I watch The Simpsons every week for like years and years.
Yep.
Where'd it go? Replaced by Arrested Development.
It's a good one too.
Okay. So last year there was a solar storm, and it was in May, and it was a pretty large one. And so I started reading about solar storms last year, and that's how I ended up at this event. So on August 28th, 1859, the Auroras Borealis and Australis were much more visible than usual. This is the northern and southern lights. And an eyewitness account from the Cincinnati Daily Commercial newspaper said it was of extraordinary brilliance. There was a ghastly splendor over the horizon of the north, from which fantastic spires of light shot up and a rosy glow extended, like a vapor tinged with fire to the zenith, which I thought was a cool description.
Very nicely written.
Hundreds of accounts over the next couple days of this solar storm were recorded, as all in Australia, in North America, all over the place. But none of these could compete with what was about to come. No. 4 days later, on the morning of September 1st, 1859, amateur astronomer and rich boy Richard Carrington was busy staring. Dick Carrington.
Dick cares.
Right. Dick carrying.
Carrying Dick.
Like a concealed weapon carry. No. Dick carry. I'm armed and ready to go. The word association is out of control right now.
We're going to get through it. It's perfect. Dick Carey. Dick Carey. I love it.
Dick Carey. Richard Carrington was busy staring at the sun through his telescope.
What is he, the president?
Would have been a better president. Actually, I don't know. It was in a telescope at his personal observatory that he had built himself with his daddy's brewery money. And I looked it up because I was like,
where was this? I'm sorry, you said? This is in Cincinnati?
This is in Surrey, England.
Oh, he's okay. Back to England. Okay, gotcha.
Back to England. So we're going to have a lot of accounts from like all over the world. So I'll try to keep them straight. So Dickie Carrington was looking into his Nepo baby, telescope.
Yeah, Nepo telly.
And I was like, is there some sort of way to stare directly at the sun through a telescope without destroying your eyes?
No.
Apparently you can... No,
not in 1890 or whatever.
But what they did was there was like a mirror, like it was like reflected, and he was able to look at it through the reflection, so it was less damaging. But this dude like loved staring at the sun, so Richard was like just looking at it.
This is like that. This reminds me of that Thrice song. Do you know? Did you ever listen to Thrice?
No, I didn't.
Stare at the sun.
Nope.
This is a sidetrack, but you'd like this. It was a song about Plato's allegory of the cave. So it's about like when you come out and he's like, I stare straight into the sun and I won't close my eye. He's basically like, give me all the info that I can and like knowledge and information. So I always thought that was like such a cool visual of like, it's really one thing to see the sun, but he's like, I'm going to stare at it and like absorb as much as I can to be as enlightened as possible. It was like aggressive enlightenment is what they're sort of singing. And it's like a hardcore band from the early 2000s. So it's very like, knowledge.
I love how the lyrics of those kind of hardcore bands are way different than anyone thought.
Thrice in particular, I mean, they were semi-religious too. Those guys, I think he was like raised Christian, but they were also like philosophical. I liked Thrice back in the day. I haven't gone back to revisit it, and I have no idea if it's like if it holds up. But when I was like 20 years old, I was like, this is profound, is staring at the sun. Dustin Kensrue, I think his name. I thought it was cool. I like the track. Anyway, sorry. So Dustin, that's the lead singer's name. That's all I'm thinking of is Dustin Kensrue from Thrice, staring into this microphone. Into this telescope microphone.
Again, we're
staring
idiots,
at the sun.
Everybody. Anyway, Richard was staring at the sun like he always did, and he noticed a bright flash on the surface of the sun, and he had never seen anything like it. It was so bright, and it lasted for about 5 minutes. And Dickie quickly sketched the pattern of the spots he had seen. Because he was like, well, that's weird. I'm going to send you his sketch.
He's all, give me a white pen. And it's just him being blind and being like, it blew my eyes out because all I'm seeing is white now. That's his sketch.
It looks like a pile of poop, but there it is.
It looks like Oh, interesting. No, it just looks like, I'm starting to get these floaters on my eye. I think
You're
that's what
getting
he's
the
basically
old
showing.
people floaters?
Old
Oh,
people floaters. Yeah, I think that's what he's got.
yeah, they kind of look like
Or it could look
floaters.
like islands in the middle of the ocean too, is sort of what it looks like.
He drew the track that this like what was to be known later as a solar flare, what it like the direction it went. So
Hmm.
he drew this, and this would become the very first actual identification of a solar
Oh,
flare
look
on
at
Earth.
that. Nepo
So
baby finally did something good with his
yeah,
Nepo money.
here's the thing: if you have enough money, you can be like a really big into hobbies and be really good at stuff and be happy. It's almost like
Yeah,
we
but if
should,
you're a dumb Nepo baby who never
no,
like was challenged and did anything with your life, it's hard that your
yeah.
hobbies would become anything other than self-indulgent.
It's just a nepo baby staring into the sun, and he
Yeah.
happens to see a
Would you
solar flare.
have does that seem so far-fetched that a rich kid would just stare at the sun high on meth or something
No, or what
and
was it
contribute
like
nothing?
opium that
Yeah.
they stole from some country that they were oppressing? Britain,
Yeah.
Britain sexual. So, yeah, it was later identified as a solar flare, and it was quickly followed by what was known as a coronal mass ejection. And yeah, what do you say
I'm
to
listening.
that?
I'm like, what is a
Oh, okay.
coronal? I don't even know
So
what that is.
a coronal mass ejection, or a CME, is when so the solar flare, first of all, is when the sun pukes out like a bunch of energy, and then coronal mass ejection is when it almost like just
Shits out a
launches
massive
yeah,
energy.
launches plasma into space.
Whoa.
And they're two separate phenomena, but a lot of people are like that, kind of use them interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
But they happen together a lot, so they're often one after the other.
Sounds it's like when the sun gets dysentery, it comes out both ends
It
basically.
the sun gets a double ender, and
Mm-hmm.
it immediately
Plasma at
impacts.
one end and solar rays at the other.
It was horrible. Uh,
This
burned
is a
so
serious
bad.
podcast. Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Yeah, so the solar flares are sudden bursts of photons across a broad spectrum. Here's the
Sure.
technical. And coronal mass ejections are the ejection of plasma from the sun's corona. Side note,
What is the sun's corona?
I don't know.
The beer, like the only, not even kidding. I'm like Corona. I only know Corona as the beer. I don't have any. I didn't realize it was like a
Corona
thing that the
means
sun
crown.
has.
So it's like it's like the sun's surface, or like the glue on the outside. I'm good at this. Like I
Okay.
said, please don't kill me.
Throw me into
People
the
who are
sun.
good at this. throw me into the sun's heliosphere.
Into
How about
the-
that? Corona me into the
Give me sun-based dysentery.
eject
End
me
it.
into the solar flare. I'm gonna get through this. So, side note: people were studying the space and stars for like as long as human history. We have like accounts
Yes.
written about auroras back from Babylon and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
this was just the first time that it was on a wide scale observed.
Where everybody saw it,
Everybody saw
or
it.
people around the world saw it. This
Yeah.
is like a ensemble film, if you will. Where it's
Yes,
like
exactly.
Contagion or something. Where like, here's what's happening in England, and here's what's happening in
Exactly.
America, and here's what's
No,
happening
really.
in Africa. Yeah.
Except way better than that. Contagion scared me to death. And then
I
it
never watched it,
happened.
but I know that Gwyneth Paltrow dies in it, so I thought it was 4 out of 4.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember watching it being like, this could actually happen. And then it did.
And
I
then
was
it
like,
did.
Great. So later that night, on September 1st, after he had witnessed this, most of the world was treated to an aurora borealis like no other. It was so bright, the night sky looked like daylight. And it reached
Whoa.
as far south as the equator.
Damn.
Which is very rare. So you have all these like Colombians and Cubans
Yeah.
being like, what is
What
this?
the shit is happening?
Yeah, no, seriously, they were just like, and of course, it immediately everyone was like, the world is ending.
The world's ending. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and so what it was bright and yellow. It was bright red, and that was what was weird because usually the aurora is cool colors, and
Yeah.
that's because
Because it's bisexual. It's usually like
It's
bisexual lighting.
bisexual lighting, and this time it was red, whatever that is. The New York Times described it as such. At that time, almost the whole southern heavens were in livid red flame. Streamers of yellow and orange shot up and met and crossed each other, like the bayonets upon a stack of guns. In this manner, alternating great pillars, rolling cumuli, shooting streamers, curdled and wisped and fleecy waves, rapidly changing its hue from red to orange, orange to yellow, and yellow to white, and back in the same order. So
That's nice. I think I remember reading that article, and there's the next paragraph directly after
The
it. The
moonbat.
first line of it says, "This is why Democrats need to get in line with us bombing Iran instigating regime change.
I think
Thanks, New
you're
York
right.
Times. Yeah, I remember that. They've been calling
They're
for it for
such
a
a
long time.
good. They're they're a really trustworthy news source. Let's just bring it back to 1850s where they just talked about solar flares.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Can we get back to what real journalism is about? Solar
Famously
flares.
brought Aurora Borealis into overthrowing the Iranian government.
As these beautiful lights quickly descended upon the Iranians, as we've been
Sorry, continue.
Man, the New York Times. You just threw me into anger. So, because the study of the sun was so new, many people did freak out, especially those near the equator.
Yeah, I would too. Seriously, if you've never even seen something remotely like that.
Lose my mind. And accounts saying that it was the end of the world. What?
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, in the States, I think it's like maybe Michigan and like some of the Midwest is like as far as south as you'll see any, like specifically Aurora Borealis. Like you're not going to see it like that far down, are you?
It depends. You can. It has, last year's in May was all the way down to California.
But not like Southern California or anything.
Not Southern California.
That's, it's usually like, at best, it's like the middle of America. Like you're not going down to LA or Mexico or anything. That's two or three times further than like you would ever see it. It's crazy.
Ever. Yeah. And so, I just can't even imagine like,
no,
like Southern. There was someone in Alabama who was like, cool, Jesus is back.
I mean, honestly, all reasonable reactions to have if you're like the sky is red for some reason.
Well, that's literally written in the Bible. In Revelations, it says they warn of a blood red moon and sky on Judgment Day to for the horsemen of the apocalypse to come through.
How bummed do you think they were that the horsemen didn't show up?
They were like, I have to keep farming.
It's the thing. If I really believed that, like, can you imagine the excitement that you're feeling that like the thing that your whole life you've been told is going to happen and it finally happens? Like that's the best night of your life.
I'm sure a lot of people were like, this is exciting. It's finally happening. Because at the same time in that era, everyone was like hyper crazy about religion and new religions and stuff. And so they were like making prophecies all over the place. Many Christians were just like, here it comes. But it was actually really terrifying. Like there was one description of this girl who was already kind of having mental health issues in Ohio. And this broke her. Like this was like the trigger that sent her into like a psychosis, and she had to end up being committed. For those who are not superstitious, they believed that if anything, it was probably just a massive fire on the horizon, and they would even call the fire department. And some thought was like, and the firemen
were
like,
put out the sky.
This is in the sky. Yeah, exactly. Please spray water at the sky.
Yeah.
Some thought a steamboat must have caught fire on the lake and the water reflected the red into the sky, which I don't think it's possible. In reality, the CME, coronal mass ejection, that Carrington witnessed traveled toward the Earth in just 17 hours, which was was extremely fast for how far away the sun is, meaning that it was packed with energy. It was one of the most powerful ones ever recorded. It is the most powerful one ever recorded. The energy coming from the sun to the Earth is called solar wind. So the solar wind then collided with Earth's magnetosphere, which can usually deflect these solar winds. But when they're big enough,
famously always wears all red, so that's probably what caused it.
Yeah, it was him. He wasn't paying attention. Thanks, man.
Reflected on his costume. Eric Lyncher, thanks a lot. You've been failing at your job of protecting the Earth from solar winds.
For real, though. The magnetosphere was like, oops, oops. So
Charles. Sorry, I'm going to let you get through the sentence.
Exactly like that. So this solar wind collides with the Earth's magnetosphere, which can usually deflect the solar wind. But when they're big enough and powerful enough like this one, they cause the Earth's magnetosphere to disrupt and sort of start to like bend and warp and stretch and reconnect. And this is then visually represented as the auroras. Northern and southern. So it's the magnetosphere just pretty much being like getting
Funhouse mirror kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
And the polar regions are more susceptible to these winds because the magnetosphere is weaker at the poles. And the colors, that's a whole other thing, dude. I had to stop myself. But the colors, in so many words, they sort of work like neon lights in that the charged particles from space come smashing into the atoms and molecules in Earth's atmosphere, such as oxygen and nitrogen. And when they collide with oxygen, they make red and green. When they collide with nitrogen, they make blue and purple. And so this storm was, the space particles were colliding with oxygen, which is why the sky was bright red. So this caused compass needles to spin erratically, and other. Are you good?
I'm gonna send this episode to my dad. He'll be like, "Oh yes, chemistry."
This isn't
He'll be very
chemistry. I don't
excited.
think.
Oxygen reacting to something else and
We're
tables.
idiots, dude.
No,
I don't
I'm
know
an
what
idiot.
is this. No, I don't either. That was. I don't even know if I explained that right.
If you came to me in the 1800s and you said all the stuff that you said, I'd be like, clearly she's a prophet.
Kill her. Or you'd be like, why is she talking to me?
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm just a humble farmer.
I just put, well, yeah, anyway, so compass readings, compass needles were like all creepy and spinning out of control on like navigation for ships was going crazy. So there was some accounts from ships being like,
there's ships
what
crashing and stuff
happening? No ships crashed, but they just noticed like, oh, this is insane because they could see it in the air and they started putting two and two together. A lot of accounts were like, oh, I'm linking these two things. It was so bright that people woke up in the middle of the night thinking it was morning.
Whoa.
Miners
it
in
is interesting
Colorado.
that there's not been like a thing about this. It has a structure. I'm sorry, I'm doing the film thing, but it's like, it inherently has a structure of like, you can do like a very simple thing where you're like, here's every different account of this across the world and like how this changes certain people. Like the guy in the South who's like, oh, Jesus is coming and we're going to kill everybody. Or somebody being like, is it daytime? This person having like psychosis. Another person that's like on a ship.
Right. And how they can all see these and the reactions they have. And
like how the world sort of changes as a result of this happening. And like, does it go off and do a bunch of other stuff? Like, does it change certain trajectories? Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. This event was a huge step toward understanding. I'll get to it. This event was massive, and I am surprised that not more people know about it because it was written about in every newspaper for like a month straight. People just being like, I saw this and this, and some of the accounts weren't like true, but a lot of them were just like, and some of them were humorous, and some of them were just like, stop talking about the sky. You know, as we have now, everyone's.
I'm just trying to relax, okay? I don't want to hear about the sky being on fire.
I don't want to hear about the sky on fire.
Sky genocide, no thanks. I need to get back to my cooking videos.
On my. I want to see makeup videos. I'm sick of seeing dead people. Good. It's fine. We're not living in an absolute nightmare that is psychically damaging us on a deep
100%.
level like no other generation has ever 100%. Experienced before. We weren't meant for this. We weren't meant to look at lights in the sky and think Jesus was coming back. We weren't going to watch someone die and then immediately watch somebody make a cake.
Yep.
So there were miners in Chicago.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said no pushback here. Yeah.
No, I know. I just wanted to yell. There was miners in Chicago that had this to say. On the night of September 1st, we were high up in the Rocky Mountains, sleeping in the open air. A little after midnight, we were awakened by the auroral light, so bright that one could easily read common print. Some of the party insisted that it was daylight, and began the preparation of breakfast. The light continued until morning, varying in intensity in different parts of the heavens and slowly changing position. So I just picture this like prospector being like, get up, boys, it's breakfast time. And some of them are like, no, the sky is on fire. Like,
by the way, halfway through that quote is when I realized that you were not talking about somebody who's under the age of 18. When you said minor, I didn't realize that that's what you were saying.
Oh, yeah, no. These are like...
that was a bunch of children. I'm like, these are very articulate children.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. These people can really write. We're done now. We're idiots now. I can't even string sentences together without freaking out. It was bright enough to cast shadows, and in the eastern U.S., people were reading newspapers at 1 a.m. just by the auroral light.
Nerds.
Total nerds. It's like,
can't even look at the sky.
Well, I'm going to use this time to read. All people do is look at their phones all day. They don't even look up and see anything around them. Missing the lights, all you do is just watch the genocide live on your phone. Get over it. Stop. Do something. Someone do something. Okay.
Well,
the whole sky. Okay. This is a quote from the San Francisco Herald. Okay. San Francisco Herald. Yeah. I like this one because it feels at home. And they say, the whole sky appeared to undulate, something like a field of grain in a high wind. The waters of the bay reflected the brilliant hues of the aurora. Nothing could exceed the grandeur and beauty of the sight. The effect was almost bewildering, and was witnessed with mingled feelings of awe and delight by thousands. So when people realized this was happening, everyone came out of their houses. Yeah. People were waking each other up and being like, check this out. It's daytime and it's bright red. Like,
yeah.
Really freaky. One guy even was like, I'm going to go hunting. It's the birds were waking up, and he was like, may as well shoot some larks. And so he just took a pistol and killed 3 birds.
People have always been dumb.
America,
Like
yeah, honestly,
once
always.
in a lifetime thing that's like never, like the sky is red. The sky has never
Red.
been red. And you're just gonna go hunting?
You're gonna go shoot some birds.
Like, what do you, even if you didn't believe, first of all, if you're religious, that's one thing. It's like you've been prepped for it. But I'm like, bro, when do you think the sky is gonna ever, also you said it's reflecting in the bay. Does that mean that the entire water, all of it looks like blood?
Red and orange and yellow.
What? Why? Why would you go hunting?
Because people are stupid. People, because I'm sure he was just like, oh, I hear birds. It's 1 a.m. I may as well do something about it.
Listen, hustle culture has destroyed the Bay Area and made it disgusting because they're just like, oh, you got to get ahead. Well, you got 2 extra hours of light at night, which means you should be hustling harder. And Gary Vee's screaming at somebody about this instead of just enjoying this.
I think
once
the guy
in a
who shot the bird
lifetime.
Else. But
oh, he
wasn't
in San Francisco,
Virginia or something.
Okay.
But I do like the idea of a tech bro gold miner shooting a bunch of birds by the light of the aurora.
Get ahead! God's giving you an extra 2 hours this week. That's how you hustle hard.
Mindset is the grind set. I don't know. So the most interesting aspect of this to me, which is what made me want to choose this, is how the solar storm affected the fairly new technology of telegraphy. So telegraph.
Okay.
We had only ever been around. This was the very first electrical grid in the world. Was now being used around the United States with copper wires connecting the telegraph stations and people able to communicate all over the world and the country. So this is wild. All right.
Okay.
This solar storm was unique because it was the first time people could communicate and compare their eyewitness accounts by sharing through the telegraph.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The newspapers.
Yeah.
So instead of just being like, I'm witnessing something insane, I don't know what's happening, they can be like, by the way, what is this? And someone else can say, I'm seeing it too. It normalizes it.
It was like the Twitter of its day of just being able to go on social media after there was an earthquake and we all just write earthquake.
California Twitter is always like, earthquake?
Earthquake. That's it.
I still checked. I don't get on Twitter, but I do check it for earthquakes.
There was one a couple yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday?
Just a jolt.
Oh, you felt it?
Yeah. I was like, what? Because it wasn't like, it didn't feel like an earthquakey quake. It just felt like someone dropped something really heavy. And I was like, whoa. Oh shit, did something break in the apartment? But it was just like
one of those short, violent ones.
Yeah, very short and violent. It wasn't that hardcore, but
we're on the we're where the San Andreas meets the Hayward Fault, and so we get those weird I don't think about it every day. We get those weird rolling ones.
Those are fun.
So you get more of like a swing.
The Limp Bizkit ones, as we like to call them. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
That's the theme.
That's what you got to play. That's what you got to have. That's part of your earthquake. Part of your earthquake kit is to have Roland ready to play.
Like an old school CD player and play. And everyone's like, we're all going to die.
That's Shake Alert. Shake Alert is that app. That's what it does. It starts playing it off your phone automatically. Kind of like, when you get like what is it called? The silver alert or like the amber alert when someone gets kidnapped but like it's going to be the earthquake alert, but it's just going to play Roland.
Have you ever gotten one of those? I got an earthquake warning.
I gotten from the actual Shake Alert?
No, from the government. They sent an earthquake alert. And then I felt it like 4 seconds later.
Oh, that's cool. It actually has worked. Everyone in LA just complains that like we never get it, and then when you go open the app, it doesn't even show up half the time.
Oh well. Back to the Aurora.
I don't understand the tech to like predict earthquakes, so I'm not going to sit here and be like a bunch of bullshit. I'm like, I have no idea how complicated any of this is.
The fact that they can even predict it for a few seconds before it comes, mind blowing.
Smarter than I'll ever be.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I don't want to be that smart.
Yeah,
because I've learned. Because of all the things I've learned from this, I'm more scared now, and you'll see why.
Great, love it. Bring
fear
it.
is unlocked. So,
awesome. Please don't tell me it has to do with planes, because I don't want to hear it. If that's what you're going to talk about,
I will not bring the planes into this.
Good, okay? Thank you.
So because of this, the Associated Press became a thing. Whereas people used to rely on just local journalists, now they could aggregate all these news stories and send them out to different papers. And it was kind of the very first time. Like it was like the baby steps of globalization, what would become globalization. And so the telegraph revolutionized everything. But almost immediately, telegraph operators began witnessing some odd effects. Some stations just straight up caught fire from the pulse of electromagnetic from the electromagnetic pulses from the CME.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so the electromagnetic pulse would just like from the atmosphere. It was so crazy. It would just like absolutely blow out these or not the transformers, but like the batteries and like machines they use for telegraphs.
Yeah.
And many put two and two together and figured maybe it's the aurora that's causing this. And one guy said he had been looking at it and he was like, I had one hand on the iron plate, happening to lean toward the sounder. By the way, his name's Frederick Royce, and this is all I could find about him. So this guy went down in history for just this. Happening to lead toward the sounder, which is against the wall, my forehead grazed a ground wire which runs down the wall near the sounder. Immediately, I received a very severe electric shock, which stunned me for an instant. An old man who was sitting facing me, and but a few feet distant, said that he saw a spark of fire jump from my forehead to the sounder. So this guy, yeah. So this wasn't the only person to get electrocuted by the telegraph machine. This happened all over the country, to the point where they all started turning them off. But here's where it gets insane. Are you ready for this? I'm obsessed with this.
Yes.
They turned off the telegrams, but they could still send messages using just the electricity from the auroral storm.
Holy shit.
In the atmosphere. So they started sending we have all these messages too. So this one from Boston to Portland, the Boston guy says, please cut off your battery entirely from the line for 15 minutes. And Portland responds, we'll do so. It is now disconnected. Boston says, mine is disconnected and we are working with the auroral current. How do you receive my writing? And Portland says, better than with our batteries. Current comes and goes gradually. So they're realizing that this is powering way better than any of their technology.
I'm scared that anybody in the Silicon Valley area will listen to this podcast and be like, oh, that's the next big tech startup. Yes. They're going to be like, we don't need batteries, Elon, to make electric cars. We could just basically be battery free and have all these solar winds flowing through us at all times.
How do we harness the sun to...
Oh, it's going to happen. Don't worry.
Oh, it will. The Boston guy says, my current is very strong at times, and we can work better without the batteries, as the aurora seems to neutralize and augment our batteries alternately, making current too strong at times for our relay magnets. Suppose we work without batteries while we are affected by this trouble. Portland says, very well. Shall I go ahead with business? And Boston says, yes, go ahead. And they, for 2 hours, continued sending telegrams, and powered only by the electricity from the auroral storm, which... magic.
What does that do to their bodies? Are people getting like cancer and shit from this or what?
No, I don't think so. I couldn't find any like lasting. And this wasn't just these guys. People all over the country were like catching word. They were like sending messages being like, yo, guys, turn off your batteries and just see what happens. And so everyone was like,
that couldn't have been good for everybody to have literally a solar blast. That can't have been good for their bodies.
That's a good question. I should have looked into that.
Should ask Dr. Hoda, be like, what if you get hit with solar winds that are so strong that no batteries need to be turned on in the entire country? Is that good for your chances of being able to reproduce later?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I should have looked that up. They were having a blast, though.
That's cool. A solar blast.
So this went on for hours through the night and into the next night, too. So it was a 2-day storm. And
whoa.
It was, yeah. And once everyone kind of caught on, like, oh, this is messing with our telegraphs. We're just going to shut these off. And then, but the sun, so what we learned from this was that the sun can really mess with the earth in ways we never knew because no one could connect with it like they could before. And no one had electrical grids until this one, which was very, very primitive, but it was an electrical grid nonetheless.
Yeah.
This was the first time a solar flare was linked with the aurora, thanks to Carrington. And this was the first time we had global data on one worldwide phenomenon and how it affected technology.
That's cool.
And of course, we learned that electric currents can be induced by space weather, which leads me
space lasers
to the final point. Can it happen again?
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
Yes. It happens.
I want it to happen so bad.
It will happen. Oh, don't worry.
Just destroy the internet. Just destroy all of it.
You only have about a week before it might happen.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. I picked this. I did not know this was the case, but I picked this right at the peak of the solar cycle where it's most likely to happen. So
like
July.
The once in a generation style or
No. So this is once in a generation. Like a big one like this, they say they've tracked, like they found a bunch of old records from Japan and China that talked about one that was really big like this.
Yeah.
Roughly 100 and something years before. And they could kind of go all the way back to like Babylon. And they figured out that every 150 or so years, there was a really big one, like the Carrington event. But every 10 years, there's 11 years, there's a thing called the solar cycle. And the sun operates on this 11-year cycle where its magnetic fields will just flip. every 11
Okay.
years.
All right.
And at the peak of it is when the sun gets all rowdy and is like, I'm just going to spit a bunch of plasma. So we are currently
Just like
at the
that.
peak. We are at the peak right now, as you're listening. Hopefully you're listening. Hopefully it hasn't happened. At the peak of a solar cycle in
The
July
week of
2025.
July 16th, I believe, is the
Yeah.
date that this releases.
And this happens a lot, but it just doesn't hit Earth all the time. So,
Mm.
or it'll barely hit Earth, and you can see a little bit of it. And our sun cycle is sun cycle 25, which means there's been 25 of them since we started keeping track. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has estimated that July will be the peak. But the fact that it happened last May, there was a large one last May.
Yeah.
Not as large as the Carrington event, but some say that that was the peak. So they can't really be sure. It can range from anywhere within a 3-year period of the cycle. But if it were again to happen on the scale of the Carrington event, we have a whole lot more reliance on electricity than we did in 1859 when what's happening?
No, I'm just like
You're daydreaming. You're loving this.
I'm dooming. I'm dooming in my head.
Doom dreaming.
Like gooning, but with doom.
Even better.
Yeah.
So instead of just electrocuting a couple dudes named Frederick, it would probably shut our world down completely and send us back 100 years technologically.
I'd be for that, just as long as I'm not in the air in a plane at the same time.
That's why I'm not even gonna get into the plane thing. Okay. We're not talking
Good.
about the planes. I don't think they'd go down, but it wouldn't be fun. So what would happen was if even just the Carrington event size of it, it would wipe out all power grids, blow up transformers, and send us back a century. And best case scenario, we can predict it because people are watching the sun. There's scientists doing this, and they can say, okay,
so long as there's a government organization that actually is funded to do this.
Ding, ding, ding. As long as a government is watching it and communicating with scientists, then we should be good. We'd have about 20 hours to turn off all electrical grids and get ready for it. If not, then it could have the potential to shut down our power grid for a year to 10 years before it gets back to how it was before.
So basically, if they have enough notice, they just turn it off, the storm passes, and then it's fine, and they just turn everything back on.
Yeah, it's like a couple of weeks. But the problem with that,
even best case scenario is like a couple of weeks with no power.
Nothing.
Holy shit.
It doesn't just affect the power, it affects satellites. So we would have no cell service. We would have no communication whatsoever.
Time to bring back the landlines.
Seriously. Well, no, because that takes
landlines you can't even use.
And it messes with radio. It messes with all of it. Like it is literally like a communications blackout. There's no way around it besides like postal, like old horse-drawn carriages, postal service. Yeah, so it really scares me because at first I was like, that sounds kind of, adventurous. But then you think about you think about hospitals. You think about hospitals. You think about, a lot of things rely on electricity and refrigeration.
Fridge is done.
We wouldn't be able to much spoiled food, meat, stuff like that. Farmers couldn't use the tractors.
Podcasting tragically will be gone.
We'd be gone, you guys. Everyone's like, yeah.
So you can't even run off a battery either at this point.
You could, but
okay. So if you have like a generator,
yes, generators can work, which is why hospitals have a ton of generators,
right?
Which is
good. You'd be using gas and generators, just not plugged into the main grid. So theoretically, all those things wouldn't go. We could continue podcasting if we just bought a Jenny. I
better get one.
Yeah, this is very important for America.
Oh, well, yeah, they need to hear us. Okay, we need to watch live feed of the world ending all around us. Come on, no. So I think there's a lot of people, scientists on this, and my best, like even if it's like some European agency and they just tweet it, that's enough for me to be like, I'm shutting off my power.
Goodbye.
But, at this point in our government, we don't really have much funding toward things like this, which is terrifying.
Great.
So last May, actually, before the event from last May, everyone got together to discuss what would happen. And 2 weeks later, it happened. And we were very lucky. Very lucky. This almost happened a year ago.
Cool.
Something like this. Yeah. I don't know how I missed this. So
thankfully, we have people in charge who are not only well prepared, but have shown a consistent history of being able to handle tragedies in a sane and measured
widespread way. Yeah.
In a widespread way that doesn't pit people against each other.
No. Mm-mm.
and doesn't have human casualties as a result of it. So thanks for this tab.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I went into this being obsessed with the fact that I could use the electric power from the Aurora to
Yeah.
communicate to being fully scared. So, sorry guys. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, seriously.
But there are things you can look up online of like how to handle a Carrington event. But we saw last year that it did disrupt some things, but overall it wasn't as bad as we thought it could be.
Mhm.
So it disrupted radio, satellites, but most of all the John Deere tractors that
What?
farmers use just
The
started like
haters?
veering off course. So there's like a bunch of rogue tractors. So
Listen, here's my fantasy is that all it does is hit OpenAI and all those different LLMs. And then they all get destroyed because they're all taking up so much energy and whatever. And then those power grids all explode.
amazing.
And then the
Hopefully.
world gets set back 50 years of AI development. And it's great.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. There could be
Anyway.
a positive scenario here.
It's just one of those things again where I'm like, we aren't prepared. So
We're not prepared for anything.
no. Just that's my tab on the Carrington event. I'm sorry. I think we'd be okay
Great.
though. I think we'd be okay. We're global enough that we can, get stuff ready. I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. I hope to one day share your optimism
I don't.
about
That was
the state of the world.
You think I believe that? You think I believe what I just said? Anyway, hopefully you guys are listening to this and not listening to it because of a solar event. Your turn.
Yeah. What if they don't get to listen to this podcast because that happened prematurely?
Well, for those of 10 years in the future,
We tried
and you're
warning
setting
you.
this up again. We tried
Yeah.
telling you,
It's not our fault.
but don't shoot birds in the nighttime. Okay?
Listen, if you see a once in a lifetime insane event where the sky turns red, just go outside and look at it.
Yeah.
Just go experience it.
Marvel at
Don't
it. Yeah.
don't use it to add extra hours of work into the day. You're wasting your
Right.
lives.
Oh, I was going to send you a picture of the one from last year, which had the same colors as the Carrington
Okay.
event.
Yeah, let's
So
see
because
it.
we don't have any documentation, but this is just as close as we can get, I think.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it looks like watermelon bubblegum
It does.
wrapper.
And these are from all over the world.
They're beautiful.
This one is crazy, this last one.
Whoa.
So the sky, I mean, in some places, it was like a full rainbow of colors. It
That's
truly is
awesome.
one of the coolest things about Earth, is the aurora.
Oh, that's been
Uh,
one of my dreams forever, is to be able to
Me
go see the
too.
Northern Lights.
We want to try to go up to Iceland for the next year is the eclipse, is
Oh.
another full eclipse, and you can see it in Iceland the best. And we're like, dude, we should do
That
that.
sounds fun. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll
Okay.
go. I'll tag
Come.
along with your family.
please.
With all the money I have. I'll
The
go ahead
booger
and plan
man
that
will
trip.
come.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have?
Thank you
What
for
have you
that. That
brought?
was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the whole wanting to die at the end, but
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I tried to make it fun.
it's okay. It was cool. It's fascinating. Like I said, new panic unlocked. But anyway,
Sorry.
so moving
Well,
on to my
hang on,
tab.
hold on. Here's
Yeah.
the thing. We're hitting the peak, and after that, we got on 10 years before something like that would happen again. So
Okay, so hopefully it'll
Great.
go off without a hitch. Nothing will.
Yeah.
Things aren't going to get worse before then. Anyway, so so my tab for today is something I didn't think I'd ever have any interest in covering, nor did I
Yeah.
think it would be something I'd ever force you to sit through. However, here
Great.
we are. And to be clear, I'm not a hater. I'm honestly just indifferent. I don't really care necessarily that much about this subject. But however, I'm happy to report it's genuinely fascinating, and I will no longer look at the subject of today's tab in the same way.
okay.
So
What is
Hannah,
it?
I can see in your eyes that you're cycling through the Rolodex of shit
Uh-huh.
that bothers you. Like you're just going through, like,
And
which one is it?
stuff
Which
that
one is it?
bothers
Yeah.
you,
Yep.
which is
Um,
it's a massive Rolodex. I'm
that's
not
exactly
even
what I
halfway
thought.
through.
Yeah, it's so many things. It's a couple of huge ones, but it's mostly just minor stuff that doesn't matter that we're
It's
bothered
little
by.
things that really push you over the edge
Yeah.
in a big way. And yeah. yeah.
And not for logical reasons. It'll just be
No.
some small minor thing that doesn't
It's
line up
something-
perfectly with the way that the
Yes.
expectation I have in my head
That
of
you
it.
wanted it to,
So that I'm
yeah.
like, I can't deal with this thing anyway.
Yeah. Or something brushes up against you and you're like, gonna die.
That's it. I hate this
That-
person forever.
Yeah.
But this is a minor one. This is a small one. This is not a big thing.
Okay.
So today I'm going to discuss a tab I had open from the Smithsonian titled "The Surprisingly Radical Roots of." Take a guess.
I don't know.
Any guess?
What do you hate? Radical roots of
No,
AI.
I said you have more strong feelings about this than I do. I was saying I'm indifferent. I didn't even say you hate it. You just have a fixation on it.
Digging?
Nope. You give up?
Yeah.
The radical roots of the Renaissance Fair.
I don't have a fixation on it. I do.
You said this is like 16 times on like every podcast where you're like,
the Ren Fair bothers me. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Ren Fair. I couldn't go to it.
You are activated.
Hold on. Let me finish. I'm not anti-Ren Fair, okay?
I know this, yes.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think I could handle being there because I'd be like, don't eat New World foods if you're going to call it a Ren Fair. Why are you eating corn and turkey? That didn't even come to the... Anyway, so then I'm like, who doesn't matter. Oh, you're going to dress as a fairy? Okay, that makes no sense. I want it to be accurate. And that's not fun, which means I'm not fun, okay?
You just proved my point perfectly. That's what I said. I was like, there are always minor infractions that don't matter. And I said, by the way, I didn't say you do this and I don't. I also do this. And I'm saying I know that this is the thing that you fixate on. I'm sort of indifferent to it. I don't really care. I don't dislike them or like them. Why aren't you wearing a
stay underneath that corset? Why aren't you wearing something that will protect your skin from chafing with the corset? What are you doing? You don't put bare skin on a corset?
That's exactly the reaction I was hoping for. So
great. I'm here. I'm a clown.
You're going to like this though. You're going to enjoy this.
This is, I'm all, my brain is all, I'm having like a solar event in my head right now. Okay.
You ready?
Give me this. Yes.
Here we go.
By the way, hold on.
Yes.
I'm not against it. And I'm glad everyone can enjoy themselves. I'm freaking out. Okay, you're right. I have a fixation.
No, you have a fixation. No, you said it too. And we said it on Jordan Jesse's Go. I'm saying you didn't. I know you don't dislike it. I said you get fixated in the same way that I do. Where like, if one thing doesn't line up correctly, then we like melt down because we can't place it in our brains.
Die.
It has no reflection of the people in it or anything to do with anything. It's just like you said, it's just like, why would you wear this corset without some piece of clothing underneath it so that it
makes no sense.
Suddenly now the entire Renaissance Fair is null and void in our brains.
Well, it's also, why are we calling it a Renaissance Fair when we're dressing like we're in the 1400s? Go.
Bro, I don't know. Anyway.
Save me from myself. You have to continue.
Okay. So, like many terrible things in this country, our story begins in the 1950s, which ironically is the time period that 77 million members of the current electorate believe this country needs to go back to.
Yeah.
I don't get it, guys. I don't understand.
I don't either. Look.
So
it's not good.
In the 1950s, we got lobotomized housewives are blankly shoving spoonfuls of cigarette-flavored Jell-O into their mouths while
there's coups going on all around the world.
While America's premier bench queen, you beat me to it, bench queen Dwight Eisenhower is acquiescing to famed war criminal Winston Churchill's request to help overthrow the democratically elected prime minister of Iran for daring to tell the English that Iranian oil, in fact, belonged to the Iranians and not the Anglo-Persian Oil Company.
And that's why you don't nationalize your oil, everybody.
Yeah, because Winston Churchill, her hero,
dude,
will come overthrow you.
Here's the thing about Winston. I brought up that he was a war criminal, in my opinion, to an English person once. Mm-hmm. Worst decision of my life. I can't get into Winston Churchill. Irreparable damage from that dude. Go on.
Not the English dude that you talked to. You're saying Winston Churchill himself.
Winston, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
even though his
for
son
nobody
was
more than us.
Toto,
yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Thanks, Winston Churchill. You really helped the Middle East a lot.
Thanks.
Shit.
You really stabilized.
Wouldn't piss on your grave if it was on fire. Anyway, more on that another time.
Man, we are aligned on a lot of things.
I mean, thanks for all the World War II stuff and killing Nazis. But after that you should have just gone away. You were done.
He was great for killing Nazis.
Yes.
But,
love the Nazi killing stuff. Everything afterwards, no.
Enemy of your enemy is your friend. Nazi killing. Yeah, you got to get rid of them how you can.
Gross. But anyway, but you know what else is happening at this time, Hannah?
What?
One of your favorite things.
What?
Making lists. You love to make lists.
I don't love to. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to react, but I'm doing it. I'm playing it. I'm just saying, I'm here. You're like, here you go. And I'm like, thank you. I'm going to take all these things you're saying and I'm going to react. Okay? I don't make lists are the worst. What you're trying to say is that white people love making lists. And yes, a good list is really satisfying.
Of course, McCarthy, he's doing his whole house of un-American activities.
List making.
Yeah, he's making lists with his assistant and future mentor to the president, Roy Cohn, who had just come off of a fun bit of prosecutorial misconduct that led to the execution of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg.
Rosenberg's dude.
Off to a great start, guys. Love every bit of this tab so far. My blood pressure is already up from all the rage.
Mine's never gone down. PSA, when white people start making lists, run. That's when things are about to fall apart.
It's not going to be good. Anyway, so the mood in the country, if you weren't lobotomized, was very tense.
Wouldn't know how that is.
Yeah, right. And nowhere more famous than our very own Hollywood, California, where dreams come to catch fire and then be illegally kidnapped by federal masked agents. I swear, this tab will be positive. I just need to get this all out of my system.
Mine, you know what mine did? My tab, I was like, oh, cool, maybe it'll knock the electricity out and no one will be able to kidnap people or send missiles anymore. And then I was like, oh no, that's also, all of it's bad. Anyway, I felt excited. Go on. You've activated me. I'm insane right now.
Great. Perfect. That's what we love. Great. So while the Hollywood Blacklist is now an annual survey of the hottest motion picture screenplays not yet produced, back in this era, it meant something completely different. If you were even suspected of being a communist or having communist affiliations, you could be put on a blacklist, barring you from ever working on any Hollywood production.
That's what happened to Josephine Baker. That's why she moved to France.
Yep. And I'm sure the most famous example of this I could think of, it was in the popular culture, of course, was Sloppenheimer from last summer, all that black and white trial stuff, shit like that. They can giveth you a nuclear bomb, but they can also taketh away.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Oppenheimer wasn't working in Hollywood, but that's sort of that's clearly what Christopher Nolan was like thinking about when he was making that movie. Yeah. And everybody knows about how, there's like sort of the more popular instances about how this permeated into the news and culture, which is like, screenwriter Dalton Trumbo fought to maintain his status. And then there's like cowards like Elia Kazan, who sold out his fellow filmmakers to the HUAC. Lots of non-famous and non-rich creative people in Los Angeles didn't get to take a stance and like make a big stink about it and have people listen to them. They could just have their lives ruined just by a rumor or like a refusal to take any kind of an oath. That was it. And this is where Phyllis Patterson had found herself by the end of the decade.
Okay.
Phyllis had been a history, English, speech, and drama teacher. But as the Red Scare became redder like an anal rash, teachers...
Or like an aurora.
Yeah, like an aurora, exactly. While people are out hunting.
Shooting birds for fun.
Shooting birds as the sky's redder than the Red Scare. Teachers were being asked to sign a political loyalty oath to work in California public schools, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. And while apparently, as far as I know, Phyllis was not a communist, she very understandably was like, this is gross and so are all of you. Eat shit.
Her.
So
Phyllis.
She quit teaching in 1960, albeit under the guise of, quote, becoming a stay-at-home mom. So she didn't do it like she was like, no. Because also she knows that if she does say that, people are going to be like, well, she's a communist. That's why. Yeah, and then her whole life. If she
says, I'm going to be a mom, they're like, look at her doing what we all want her to
producing children. Great.
Yay.
And so Phyllis soon started working at the nearby Wonderland Youth Center, which was in Laurel Canyon, where she ran a theater program for kids. And she really liked being able to show kids their potential for creativity using elements from the past. And part of her curriculum included the Commedia dell'arte, which is a form of popular theater that emphasized ensemble acting.
Was it like Italian or something back in the day?
Yeah. And so just a quick recap of what it is. It's like improvisations were set in firm frameworks of masks and stock situations.
Yeah,
and
stock
plots
characters. Like Punch and Judy. Is it where Punch and Judy came from?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
Plots were frequently borrowed from classic literary drama. Professional players would specialize in one role, and they developed an unmatched comic acting technique, which contributed to the popularity of the iterant commedia troops that traveled throughout Europe. Basically like a traveling improv group. That's what all this starts with. It starts from here.
Some like 17th century guys like, I'm not going to come to your improv show.
Basically, yeah. But we're in town. We're visiting.
Look, I have
we're
some
visiting
things
Surrey.
going on.
Stop looking at stop staring at the sun and just come watch me do one improv show.
I gotta look at the sun some more. Sorry, my schedule's full, and this schedule is just every hour. It's just stare at sun. I'd rather stare at the sun than go to an improv show.
Exactly. And after teaching Commedia dell'arte, I don't know, for a little bit, Phyllis came across some illustrations in a children's book of a medieval pageant wagon with players on a stage in a lively marketplace. And she was like, oh, bro, hell yes. That's sick. So she asked a couple of her students' dads to build what she called a comedia wagon.
Oh, okay.
Or comedia wagon. And being that this is Los Angeles, where everyone has some insane, awesome, potentially hidden, but highly specialized talent, the wagon turned out cool as shit.
It's like when you were talking about your wedding and you're like, we had this made. And I'm like, how'd you have this made? You're like, we knew a guy.
Yeah.
We knew a person.
LA is all about knowing a guy.
Insane. You guys crowdsourced your wedding from people that you knew in like specific careers.
Yeah.
I got a cardboard cutout guy. What? I don't.
This is God bless, because Sarah's like friends with all the print shops, and she's like, I got a guy. He'll love it. He loves me. He'll do this. He'll turn it around quick. Sarah's or she. Lovable. I don't remember who it was, but yeah. Also, she always looks out for them too. She gets. She's good at like. Sarah's much better at business than I am when it comes to being like.
Sarah's a good person.
She is. So they make this wagon, and it turns out awesome. And the kids, understandably, just lose their minds. And after one performance, we're desperate to do it again. They're like, "Can we do this again? I love this wagon. This is so much fun."
Oh, that's fun.
And at first, Phyllis was like, bro, you just finished. Can you please let me relax? I just want to watch like 90 Day Fiancé and go on my phone and not talk. But they kept insisting. And she was like, okay, fine.
Renaissance 90 Day Fiancé?
Renaissance. Yeah.
We're getting someone from the other county in here and we're going to marry them.
How do I remove this corset? It's directly onto skin instead of wearing a burlap sack or whatever you're supposed to wear underneath it. I don't know.
There's
you're the
many
expert.
things you can wear under it. I don't know.
You gotta love those rascally kids. They're super.
Yeah.
It's annoying because they're like, we don't have energy because we're old and dying, but their enthusiasm's contagious. And she's like, all right, fine.
They can do the same thing over and over and over, and it's like, okay.
But because to them it's still new. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like they've done it once. They haven't been spoiled by like years of being let down and disappointment,
jaded, being absolutely crushed by the world.
By the world, exactly.
Oh.
But Phyllis, much like us ADHD adults, she's like, listen, I'm not doing the same shit again, but I'm going to kick this up a notch, mostly to keep myself from getting bored. So she comes up with this idea. How about instead of a bunch of kids playing grab ass on the back of a wagon, we recreate a full-on Elizabethan country fair with blackjack and hookers. No, not really.
I mean,
where people could come meet up with their friends, buy and sell goods, eat, drink, dance, and most importantly, what, Hannah?
Dress up in those kinds of clothes.
I mean, that's also part of it.
Clunky way to say that. And bang.
What do we always say?
Bang.
Put on the best talent show this town has ever seen.
I was just thinking about how everyone at the Ren Fair is horny. But yeah, sorry, I can't quote things.
That is, as far as I understand, the best part of the Ren Fair. Again, having not been to one, but that's all I know about them, is that everyone who talks about Ren Fairs are always like, oh, it's horny in there. It's horny.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we go to a Ren Fair?
I'd be open to this if there's an opportunity for us to do this perhaps when the solar flares destroy everything, we can go.
Oh, we won't have to go. We'll be living in one.
We'll be living in a Ren Fair. I'm open to the idea. I think it might be fun. Maybe we could do a live stream from a Ren Flare. A Ren Flare?
Yep.
That's what we're going to call it when everything gets shut off, is the Ren Flare.
There's a giant Ren Flare and it knocked out the grid.
Yeah. Boobies everywhere. We love it.
So horny it knocked out the grid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, here's the thing. Wear your corsets how you want, ladies.
You've been given permission by Hannah now. Thanks.
Again, arbiter of all things.
I'm indifferent. No. It's fine. I've just never understood the instinct to dress up as like the historical thing. No, I'm talking about like this is your culture. I'm like the World War II reenactments and like the Civil War reenactments and the Renaissance fair stuff. I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't judge. I just don't care. I'm indifferent to it. I feel like that's like a very Western European American kind of thing. I don't
putting on pageants and reenacting things. And
I mean, a lot of cultures do it, but I feel like the white people are like the ones who are like, this is like our jam, that they love to do that.
Yeah. I went to high school with a Civil War reenactor, and even back then I was like, huh? Why this war?
But I feel like Renaissance fairs are, especially, I mean, even before having read this, I'm like, there's no like being a Civil War reenactor is like, and World War II reenactor, you're like, there's people who are like, I want to play the Nazi, or I want to play like this, like it's sort of, it ends up masking this weird, like shitty part of you. And I'm just, I don't like that part of it. But Renaissance
Fair,
I
went to this Jacobs, I think it was Jacobs Antiques in Cardiff, Wales. And there was this guy who had a booth there, just Nazi memorabilia. And we'd always be like, why are you doing this? And he's like, it's interesting. And it's like, I don't think this is just because it's interesting. I think you're a Nazi. And I went back 2 years later and he was still there with more of it. I wonder what he's doing now.
There's a, you probably never watched the show. It's called Peep Show. It's a British show that was on for a long time. It was really funny. I was obsessed with it. And there's an episode called Mark Becomes Friends with a Racist. And it's like a guy who loves doing World War II reenactments. And he's like, come with me to my World War II reenactment. And Mark's like, okay. And then they're there and he's like, English and for the English. And he's like, oh, I guess, yeah, sure. We're supposed to say that to like, because we're in character. And then he starts saying all this stuff to him. And he's like, oh, no.
Are we the baddies? Like, is that what that's from?
Like, that's what that's from. Yeah.
I love that
wait, no, I think, no, that's a different one. But that's the same actor.
Okay.
That's David Mitchell, who they're very funny. But basically through the process of going to this reenactment, he's like, oh shit, this guy who I thought was my friend is actually a racist.
Dude, that's the thing about funny. White people. I'll tell you right now, because usually like with, people of color, you're like, we can all kind of agree that we're on the same page. But white people of color living outside their country. I'm not going to sit here and you defame the good name of Middle Eastern people and say that we're not some of the most racist individuals that have ever lived. Oh, I know. That's why. But like in the States where it's like, there's some pretty like, hey, we all kind of understand, like we got each other's backs. But then you're like with like a mixed group of white people and you don't know what you're going to get. Like, someone you've known for 20 years can say something that absolutely shocks you. You're like, wait, what? I thought we were on the same page. You don't believe that people of different races should marry? Like, that happened to me once. And I was like, oh. I mean, they weren't married. Anyway, you know what I mean? But, like, you'll be in mixed company. I know what you're saying. Like, wow, you're a wild card. I guess you're into... That's why we're scary. So...
Yep. Anyway, so they decided to put on the best talent show this town has ever seen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
However... she couldn't do it all herself.
No.
So she had to put together a team, which is your favorite, I know.
I love.
And she starts enlisting volunteers.
Assemblies.
Yep. Thankfully, she had more than a few talented mofos out in Los Angeles. Like
I'm sure, dude. Perfect place.
Perfect place for it. And she didn't even have to look past the Wonderland Board of Directors. Robert and Doris Carnes were actors and also victims of the Red Scare, but much more directly than Phyllis. Yeah. In 1959, the HUAC, or as I like to now call them, Huactua, had called Doris.
That was good.
They shall now forever be known as Huactua.
Huactua. And it's the, what's his name? Why can't I remember his name?
McCarthy.
No, but, oh yeah.
Roy Cohn, is that who you're talking about?
No, but McCarthy's just spitting as he says it. Huactua. Dude.
Huactua, they had called Doris to testify about an alleged communist infiltration of the youth center in 59.
By the way,
and after
HUAC is House of Un-American Activities.
That's what I said it earlier. HUAC.
You did? Okay.
I did, but it bears repeating. Huactua. Again, no, now they're Huactua. That's it. That's canon.
Yeah.
So by 1961, the committee issued a report identifying Doris and 19 others as communists or communist sympathizers.
Jeez.
And the accusations split the locals. Some wanted to pull their children from all drama classes, while others were smart and correct and didn't want to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a brutal blow to their reputations.
Yeah.
But where others only saw witch hunting and betrayal, Phyllis saw opportunity to build community. She's like, hey, you guys know all about hair and makeup and costumes and shit. Lord knows you've sat in the chair waiting to be called to set. Surely you've learned a thing or two. So
dude, I'm already at pro Renaissance Ren Fair.
I figured you would be.
I know exactly. This is amazing. Okay,
yeah.
You changed my life.
So
my opinion, not my life.
So she puts Doris in charge of costumes and then eventually props and scenery. Despite them all being alleged communists, this was decidedly not a union shoot. Many different hats are being worn, which is why, Hannah, you'll never be in charge of putting on a fair because your head's too big.
It's way too big. It's bigger than you. You were surprised that my head is bigger than yours.
It's record breaking.
99th percentile, baby, when I was born.
Yep.
My poor mother. My poor mother.
And now she gets to the thing that I'm sure is going to trigger both of us.
Oh no.
No. It's funny. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Phyllis's spouse, his name was Ron Patterson,
Okay.
was an art director at an advertising agency.
Oh.
So what did she do? She got him to handle all matters of graphic design.
No. You're right. It's triggering. I felt panic when you said art director. I was like, oh no.
And
this guy's gonna want her to blow up a JPEG and make it look good.
No. For those of you who aren't married to designers, let me tell you, wow.
Yeah, we're both married. You and I are both married to designers. My designer ended up doing something else, but he's still a designer.
Yep.
He's still a designer, and they have opinions, and those opinions are the right ones, apparently.
My wife is a very kind and caring person, but to quote the great Jack Donaghy, when it comes to design feedback, there are terrorist cells that are more nurturing.
Yeah. Nothing can be more crushing than showing my husband like a creation of mine and he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he just looks
it's like
at it.
This other being comes online. Yeah. It's like they just shift.
A different person. And then he's like, can I have your pen? I'm like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm going to fix it. And I collapse. I fall apart.
My favorite is the logo for this show. The yellow in the button on the top was different from the yellow that's in the text.
Yeah.
And I asked Sarah to take a look at it and she changed it. And I was like, why did you change it? She's like, because they need to match. And I was like, the whole point is that your eye is supposed to go down if it's the exact same color. Basically, it was like it was illustration fighting versus design, where I'm like, design demands that everything's consistent and exact. Yeah. And I'm like, but art or like illustration is about like leading your eye into a certain way and like it flows.
Guiding,
I mean, you still flow and stuff in design.
Through the whole thing. Yeah.
But also I was like, the fact that it's slightly different is what makes it feel less designy. And that was the sort of a basically my wife and I got into like a heated 30-minute discussion about a shade of yellow.
This logo. Yeah. About the logo for this show.
See, I love her very much. She's very helpful.
Oh yeah. Though here's the thing, they are right in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Sean will always be like, you gotta tighten up these lines. I'm like, this is a cartoon.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm not.
No, and then of course I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to have you help me at all. And then he's like, this is not fun. Anyway,
so she does that. And Ron, to his credit, he goes all out. He even hand letters the poster and other artwork, which establishes the iconic visual style that's still copied to this day.
Whoa.
Ron also managed public relations and the business side of the event. So I have some stuff. Let's see.
Everyone needs a Ron.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait till we get to the event itself and I'll start showing you stuff. But just remember that because it's cool. I have some print materials. And speaking of the business side, how are they going to pay for all this shit?
Yeah.
Phyllis suggested making it a fundraiser for KPFK, a listener-supported radio station owned by the Pacifica Foundation, which, according to their website, I went and looked it up. So it's the Pacifica Foundation, Inc. was born in the late 1940s out of the now nearly forgotten peace movement surrounding World War II.
Whoa,
Lewis Hill, a conscientious objector. And do you know him?
I know Lewis Hill. I've read about Lewis Hill before. He's
shit.
He died in some crazy
I have no idea.
Never mind. You keep going. I know of Lewis Hill because I got really into like 1940s unionists and like anti-war stuff for a while because it's fascinating. It's a forgotten thing. Like the 1940s socialist movement is absolutely forgotten. Anyway.
Oh. Yeah, that's what the Pacifica Foundation says. So Lewis Hill is a conscientious objector and Washington, D.C. newsman. Well, he was fired from his mainstream reporting job when he refused to misrepresent the facts. Pacifica was born in 1949 I'm sorry, did I say KPFK? KPFA. I've got all my letters mixed. KPFA went on the air from Berkeley, California. Hold on. Okay. Did I screw this up? Is it KPF? No, it's KPFK. I think KPFA was the first. And then KPFK, I guess, is the Southern California branch or whatever.
I think that I got him mixed up. No, this is the same.
I mean, he is a conscientious objector, and it does sound like he was part of all this stuff.
The conscientious, because they were all Quakers. They were all like,
oh, really?
The Quaker church is, even to this day, you can be like, I'm a Quaker, and it's like a religious exemption from fighting.
Interesting.
Dude, Quakers are awesome. There are very few left, but a lot of them
love their cereal.
That is literally made by the Quakers.
That's awesome. Anyway, so according to a KPFK producer, David Osman, quote, at the time, KPFA was a historic exception to one-dimensional programming. We had books, documentaries, drama, history, poetry, politics, all back-to-back with music programs spanning Bach cantatas, flamenco singers, and Renaissance recorder music.
Cool.
KPFK was a station worth supporting in 1963 if you were a liberal-minded person with eclectic tastes, end quote. So, obviously, radio station and Ren Faire would go together like a Kettle One vodka with tortilla chips and Nixon's stomach. Not mine.
Lovely. No, it didn't sit well with you.
Absolutely not.
You're not a true American.
Apparently not. So KPFK was like, hell yeah, this sounds just like the kind of kooky shit our listeners would love.
Amazing.
And they had the idea. They had a crew to put on the show, and presumably an anal retentive graphic designer who would give psychopathic levels of detached feedback when it came to critiquing their work.
Spot on. It's perfect description. Psychopathic level detached feedback. Oh, I feel
seen. Finally, where would they stage it? Where would it be?
County Fairgrounds, always, right?
So, but where specifically?
I don't know.
Oliver Haskell was a social organizer that also ran an ideologically progressive day camp for children. Ooh. And apparently it was awesome. Oliver had also been accused of membership in the Communist Party.
Wow. It's almost like when you kick people out of things, they're going to form their own new community that's way better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And lucky for Phyllis and crew, he also had a 5-acre ranch in North Hollywood, just down the street from here.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Near you?
Yep.
What? You live near the birth of the Ren Faire?
Don't get too crazy with this, but I'm pretty sure. So what usually people say is that they cite the first fair is happening out in Agora near Malibu, which is now Agora Hills. Like it's become incorporated. Yeah. But from what I think and from what I can tell from some of the more specific historical explanations and like cross-referencing, I'm pretty sure it was actually North Hollywood.
Whoa, I want to figure that out.
And so I found some random blog of this lady who took the time to write like 2 long posts about the life of Oliver Haskell. And it's very detailed and clearly thought out. And like, apparently he was a great dude and she really liked him. And his kid was like, went to his camp. And I cross-referenced some other stuff. So this was a bit of a side tangent, which is not super important, but.
I love side. Haskell's Rascals Farm Camp. This is like a newspaper advertisement. It says, a real farm experience for 20 girls and boys from 6 to 12 in Redwood Forest, 4 miles from secluded beach. Full camp program, a trained counselor for every 4 campers, reasonable rates. 2 or 4 weeks available starting July 28th. Supervised transportation. This sounds awesome.
So, but they meet at, do you see where it says they meet is 10662 Bluffside Drive in North Hollywood, which is
Hollywood.
where he lived.
I wonder if they met there and then got bussed somewhere.
So Haskell's Rascals is the camp that's before, that's not the Ren Faire. That's before the actual Ren Faire starts. So that was just an ad for his thing.
Oh.
But
this is so
basically,
cool. Haskell's Rascals.
The camp eventually moved to a bigger campus, but his ranch still stood. And basically that address now, the 10662 Bluffside Drive, that's behind the train station that's directly across from the entrance to Universal Studios.
Oh, whoa.
So it's right down the street. And everything from what I've read, it's like, it's south of the LA River and it's like off of Vineland and like all this stuff. So there's a lot of conflicting reports. But from what I can tell, I think this is where it is. Also, the not that this would matter necessarily, but the offices of what was it, KPFK? Yeah. That's also like right across the street. Not that it necessarily had to be there, like next to where the grounds were, but I don't think it makes sense that they would be like, we're going to get this gigantic 20-acre ranch for the first time that we're ever doing this thing while we're trying to like look for volunteers. My assessment of it, again, I could be wrong, is that I think they're like, okay, Ollie was here. It's a volunteer. He has this ranch. He knows how to set it up. It's close.
It's nearby. Yeah.
It's nearby. They don't know how big it's going to be. It would make more sense. And it's only 5 acres. And it would make sense that that's where it would be. So also.
Yeah. Why would they go somewhere else in 1960?
Yeah. And eventually they do go down there later. And that's where a lot of them are. But I think for the first one, but there doesn't seem to be a definitive, like, this is the official record that I could find. So I think it's sort of like people are sort of
Still.
re-sharing information that may or may not be correct.
That happens. Nothing like this show has taught me that happens almost
Yeah.
constantly.
I'm going to send you the link too. You can go back and read it later. This person like wrote about Ollie's entire life story, which was insane.
Oh,
But it was
cool.
kind of cool. Anyways, I had to
Ugh.
stop. So they got to build stages and shit and like get this place together, right?
Uh-huh.
So what do? Then you get this guy who's named Preston Hibbard, who was a veteran of the Navy.
Sounds
Preston,
like a Simpsons character.
right? Preston Hibbard. He sounds like an old-timey baseball player. Preston had an insane job, which was literally building carnivals for employees of the aerospace manufacturer Roar down in San Diego. That's ROHR. That was his job.
Carnival builder?
Literally a carnival builder for the aerospace industry.
That's insane. It's so specific.
I know.
So why the aerospace? Why were they having carnivals?
I think because they're just like huge company. I mean, when you work for companies that are that big, that have that much money, they throw so much money at like events for their employees and stuff like that. Because back then, when you were a company person, they used to like, take care of you and give you pension and give you like 401k and like put on events for families. Now they're just like, trying to strip you for every single thing that's worth.
Work every day of the year.
Every day of the year, don't not give you pension, try and give you not enough hours so they don't have to give you insurance, etc. Not even stock options. Anyway, we live in the worst timeline now ever. Continuing though, he worked for this job, but then he moved his family to Los Angeles. And when he did, he'd sworn he would never work for the military industrial complex ever again.
Love this
and
guy.
So he's like, oh, Renaissance Fair for a bunch of like pinko communists? Rock and roll.
Military industrial complex. It's the Ren Fair run by commies.
He's just like, yes, let's do it.
I'm in. Sign me up.
You had me at communists. And Phyllis went on to KPFK and was like, yo, we need extra hands. People should come help us build all this crap. And sure enough, they did. People just came up and they were like, we'll do what we can. And bonus, Preston had gotten a hot tip from the local schools that they were replacing all their curtains, which means that they gave all of their discarded crushed velvet fabric to the fair.
No, I want that. I love a good dude. I'm driving down the street and there's like street scores, I call them.
Oh, you love them, I know.
Oh, but the other day we were driving and Sean's like, no, before I even said anything.
Too much.
Like, no, we're not getting. But there was some good stuff over there. Anyway, on the scavenger, that find is an amazing find. A bunch of old curtains, incredible.
All kinds of velvet. And so like George Costanza, the entire fair was draped in head to toe with velvet.
This is perfect. And it's the exact same now. That's the thing.
Yep.
These traditions.
So they recruited more people to act as vendors and actors for the show until finally on the morning of Saturday, May 11th, 1963, the first day of the fair began.
Ooh.
And here's the cover of the program.
Oh, this is so cool. This is so 60s. I'm obsessed with this, dude. It's like a pen drawing of like a little like Elizabethan village. Look at that font.
All hand lettered.
Of course, jog your deep and merry way to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair and May Market. A benefit for KPFK Saturday and Sunday. This is awesome. Artwork by Ron
By the way,
Carrington.
infuriating. Also, still no address on this shit.
No, you just have to find your way. Like, no, someone in 50 years is going to be trying to find this address and then won't be able to. This is...
I love the, if you look on the far right, it says KPFK.
I was just about to say the 1963.
The 1963.
I was just about to point that out. My favorite
it's
part
awesome.
is the way they wrote 1963. It's really cool. It's funny that you said that.
It's stacked. It's like 1 9 and then below it is 6 and 3 and then the tail of the 9 connects to the top of the 6. It's really beautiful.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm like, I'm inspired by his writing.
Yeah, beautifully done.
Go to the YouTube and look.
So here they are.
Let's see.
That's Phyllis.
Oh, amazing. Phyllis, she's got her outfit on, and is that her husband?
Yeah, that's right.
These guys look like they'd be fun to party with.
Oh yeah. Let's see. A
Nerds.
guy named Michael Tegar charged down the street on horseback, formally opening the fair by crying,
"Whoa!
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes." I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh why, easy. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I don't know.
I have no
the fair has
idea.
begun. The glove is up. The first fair. The first fair started in the same way it would flamboyantly develop in years to come, with a grand procession with dancers, donkey carts, the comedia wagon. Really, the whole thing like made its entrance. So they open up with the wagon that started this all.
Whoa! That's
Actress.
really cool.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just,
Yeah.
way more chill about Ren fairs now.
Yeah.
Now that I know they were started by like commies.
People whose lives were destroyed by the Red
Destroyed by
Scare.
McCarthy, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we're like, eat shit. We're going to do this. And everyone came out for it, which is awesome. So,
No.
actors improvise in the streets, bantering with patrons.
Okay,
3
maybe not
stages
that.
offered all kinds of shows that involved dancing, magic, miming, juggling, flame eating, Renaissance music, and scenes from Shakespeare plays. KPFK did a live broadcast from the fairgrounds,
Wow.
interviewing participants, patrons, and visiting celebrities. You can actually hear this. It's on YouTube. I saw it somewhere.
What?
Actor
Well,
Carl
he's
Reiner
gonna-
was there. He did a monk
Oh.
on the street interviews.
What? Oh, like
And-
dressed as a monk?
yeah.
That's really funny.
In total, the event raised around $6,000 for KPFK. Everyone
Wow.
had a great time. And Phyllis was like, okay, cool, it's over. And as fairgoers were leaving and like everyone was like exiting on Sunday, a commentator asked her what the plans were for next year, to which apparently she just was like, we're going to host 2 weekends. Like had no thought about it beyond that, just in that moment. She just yes-anded it.
Wild.
And that was it. That was the first year. And, of course, Ren Fairs have been going on forever, but I mostly just wanted to
look at
focus on the
that.
first one that was ever done.
Oh, this is crazy. bunch of dorks. This looks fun.
So this is one from later. I think Ron also drew this, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see.
This is the 3rd one.
Oh, so cool. Oh, what? Oh, that's really
Anyway,
cool.
I thought it was such an interesting. I had never. I mean, not that admittedly I ever like read into Renaissance fairs, but I just thought that was
Yeah.
such a fascinating
Yeah.
beginning to them. I think that
They
was
all
so
got
unexpected.
Blacklisted and turned it into a Ren fair. That's
Yeah.
also a very LA story right there.
Oh, it's very LA and it's very
Yeah.
consistent with working in the film industry, which is like we always
Yeah.
say we're like, oh yeah, we're all just like a traveling circus. Like the tents
Yeah.
are showing up and like you're doing.
We
It's
all
very
set
much in
up-
the spirit
Yeah.
of people coming in and being like,
Creativity.
we're gonna put on a show, and like
Yeah.
everybody does what they can.
We're going to assemble and then we're going to just be done after we're done and
It's
go on to the next one.
that's how we all are. That's how we've all been. That's how we go from production to production.
That is fascinating.
so-
That's something that's fascinating about LA is the production to production. Like, because when I was little,
yeah.
I was like, oh, film sets. You meet all these like people that you're always going to work with. And it's like, oh, it's like 6
Friends
weeks
forever.
and then you don't see them again.
Never talk to them again.
Yeah, but-
Often.
Yeah.
But it's
Anyway.
like intense, like
It's
relationships
like camp.
that are formed.
You all become best
Yeah.
friends, and then
Yep.
I love that about that. It makes you an adaptable person.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
Dude, this was
anyway,
really, really
that's my tab.
interesting. I loved it.
I thought you'd
Thank
like
you.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. Let's go to one. Is this one still running?
I think so. Yeah.
We should go to this one.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe we should.
Yeah, it's still running. It's held in Irwindale, California.
Irwindale.
Oh, we just missed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it just happened, right?
Yeah. A 1580s English marketplace.
Next year,
Next year. Should we do it?
if we're
And then
still
we can
around,
go-
if the solar flare, Renaissance flare has not destroyed us, we'll call it the Renaissance flare is going to be the name
should
of
be
it.
called a Renaissance.
Renaissance flare.
Would have been the best episode name if we still did that. Renaissance flare, dude.
Speaking of flares, it's time for us to close the tabs, which I think it should be the sound of a solar flare and then the tabs
Yeah.
burning maybe or something.
I don't
or
think there's a
short-circuiting.
sound from a solar flare because it's space.
Just be like,
Okay, like
in
a solar
space,
wind.
no one can. Are you going to be like, oh, they can't hear you scream in space because there's
That's
nowhere for
why I
sound to
stopped
travel.
talking, okay,
Yes.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day,
Be
I'm
creative
wrong.
for once in your
I'm
life,
wrong.
Hannah.
I'm surprised.
I don't like Star Wars because ships make noise and they're flying around and I can hear their engines.
People like that, boo. Yeah.
You're literally that, but with the Renaissance fair. Anyway, hopefully
No, again,
I've
I'm
changed your
wrong.
mind. Listen, just remember now that Renaissance fairs are built on the idea of being a potential communist and socialist values. And that's cool as
100%.
shit.
That is really cool. On
That's
that
pretty
note,
awesome.
let's have a solar flare, or how about just something electrocuting, like. bzzz.
I want the wind and then the electrocution.
Okay.
The sun. You want to count us
Space
down?
wind. Yeah, I will. Okay, ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Close.
All right. On to listener emails. You're up first.
Okay, so this one is from Ollie from Berkeley.
Oh my God.
No, yeah.
Ollie, just like the guy, I was like, can you tell us about your ranch?
What's like your ranch like? I'm in Berkeley. I had to cut it for length, but it's still good. I hope. Hi, Kava and Hannah. I am Ollie from Berkeley, California, and I have had a tab open for about a year about a local curiosity, the Bay Area's most hazardous playground, located in the Berkeley Marina.
I remember the Berkeley Marina.
You do?
I used to work close to the Berkeley Marina.
Really? Oh, yeah, you used to.
I used to live. Do you remember how I'm from the Bay Area, Hannah?
Sorry, you're talking about LA so much that I kind of forgot.
It's true.
No, you are. You're from both. But yeah, you were up the... East Bay is one area I just don't know much about. I don't get up there very often.
Racist.
Classic South Bay person saying that.
Classic. It's okay. We in the East Bay are just like, we're not going to the South Bay. Eat shit.
Why would anyone go down there? I know. My friend who lives in the East Bay is like, sorry, you're coming to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, cool. I want to go to a cheesecake factory that closes at 7:30 at night. Sounds like a great time.
No, you want to go to the Marie Callender's in Sunnyvale, California, the last one in existence. Okay.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. Instead of a typical plastic playground setup, this playground, called an adventure playground, is basically a junkyard made up of rope, pianos, rowboats, old cars, and wooden forts nailed together, aka Hannah's dream.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kids are given access to hammers, nails, saws, and paint, and are given free access to construct whatever additions to the playground they want.
That sounds fun.
Right? You might think this is a terrible idea to give small children carpentry tools and just let them go at it, but you'd be surprised at how great these kids are with the tools, and how important getting to engage in this type of play is to their growth. Absolutely.
Big time.
Encountering risks is super important to childhood development, and the adventure playground is meant to provide a controlled environment for kids to encounter those risks. The playground rarely sees serious injuries. There is adult supervision throughout the park to prevent hazards, and they promote a motto of construction and not destruction to discourage kids to build instead of destroy, which my son would 100% try to do. At the end of the day, the adult staff goes around and reinforces big changes the kids made to the playground so nothing falls apart. The adventure, are you looking it up?
I just wanted to see where it was in the marina. Okay.
I'm going to take my kids here.
You should finally get out to the East Bay for once.
The adventure playground was invented by Danish architect Carl Theodor Sorensen, and the first one opened in Copenhagen in 1943 using debris from World War II.
Whoa.
Turns out kids love playing in the rubble of bombed buildings. They got really popular in the US and UK in the 50s and 70s, 50s through the 70s, but a lot of the ones in the US were forced to close after a couple of lawsuits in the 70s. Now only 2 are left, one in Huntington Beach and one in Berkeley. Anyway.
Yeah. Nice. You just take university all the way down to the water.
Okay. Thank you for reading, and I hope you have an awesome day. Ollie. P.S. I've been a listener since Musical Splaining's episode about American Idiot. I was stage managing a production of American Idiot in 2021, and my friend sent it to me to clown on you. Since any self-respecting American Idiot fan knows that the LA production you watched is absolute dog shit. Anyway, I got totally hooked, and here I am 4 years later. It's one of us. I started listening with a dunk on you, idiot. Okay, your turn.
Nobody will dunk on us more than we will. Thank you, Ollie. Hope you're doing well up in Berkeley. I miss the East Bay. I miss home. Yeah. Anyway, by the way, in the notes you wrote, Ollie from Berkeley.
Sorry.
That's what you wrote here, is Ollie from Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Berkeley. No, it's Berkeley now forever.
Okay, fine. Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Can't wait
thanks,
to go
Ollie from Berkeley.
Your turn.
Burkel when he becomes Stefan Urkel.
Burkel.
Stefan Burkel. Anyway, okay. Email number 2 is from Amy from the UK. Your favorite. Kava and Hannah, I'm in the UK, and while there's a general online vibe of do not travel to the USA these days, particularly if you're trans, I recently visited the States for the very first time to visit friends in Seattle.
Hey, that's a good place to go if you're trans. I'll say that.
Or Iranian, or of like any kind of like Hispanic descent.
Remember we were talking about how whites are a mixed bag? Seattle whites are ride or die. So
yeah. Anyway, there was one thing that especially made all that not putting our bags on our internal flight to Heathrow, having to literally run the length of O'Hare during an unplanned extra layover, and getting felt up by the TSA because they didn't know which button to press on the junk scanner, worth it.
Whoa.
Was it the rainforests of the Olympics? Was it the jaw-dropping majesty of the Cascades? The simple joys of getting to spend time with friends I've known for 30 years? Or was it the Museum of Flights, old Air Force One, complete with Nixon's actual airborne toilet.
Incredible. Secundus Dixon shot 5 times in this airplane toilet.
More than 5.
Oh, dozens and thousands, probably.
As what is essentially the official podcast of Nixon shitting and Nixon shitting. I obviously immediately thought of you guys as soon as I laid eyes upon the glory of it. Hannah, do you know what an honor that is? Is that like we are the official podcast of Nixon shitting? Somebody
who was on vacation to another place saw Nixon's toilet and thought of just us.
We need this to be like on our, like when they have like a poster where it's like official selection at Cannes or like TIFF. We'd be like official. Maybe we can get our graphic designer spouses to make one that says official podcast of Nixon shitting.
I want to draw a picture of him on this toilet.
Have at it.
Roman garb. I'm not gonna. You know that. I'm all talk. Okay, go on.
To think of the horrors this thing must have seen, even as a Brit, I felt moved to thank it for its surface. Keep it Josie, guys. And they included a picture of it, which, by the way, it's like a double wide. It's like he can spread his legs out on there. Yeah, it's a full-on couch.
And still go to the bathroom.
That is luxurious. When you become the president of the United States, you get to shit and nap at the same time.
Hey, I don't have to be president to do that.
No, I just mean you have a toilet in the air that allows you to do both those things.
It's crazy. Why is it so wide?
I don't know. Because he has a couple friends who are in there with his, like, he makes Kissinger go in with him and sit next to him. There's a seat next to him.
Watch me.
Yeah. LBJ, famously would go into the bathroom and he would hold meetings and talk to his cabinet while he would take a shit. Oh. So maybe Nixon's just trying to do that, but only with Kissinger.
He's like a...
Hold him in. Come on in. You're holding it.
Hold my hand. Yeah. I need some support. Man, Amy, thank you. Incredible. I'm honored. So honored. And
fantastic.
If you want to send us some, you can send it to us at 500opentabs@gmail.com, and that's 500. And you can send a voice memo too if you'd like. Keep it under like a minute or two.
And additionally, coming up next week's going to be San Diego. Yep. You and I, Hannah, are going to be on a panel together.
Yep.
It's called I'm Me, and it's this game's fault. Mm-hmm. It's going to be moderated by our friend Kurosh. It's going to be on Friday, July 25th from 8 to 9 p.m. in room 28AB, as in Apple Baker of the San Diego Convention Center.
29AB.
Did I say 28? I'm sorry, 29AB.
Yeah.
20. I didn't even say the number afterwards. Sorry, I'm getting to the end of the podcast. I can't talk anymore. 29AB is the name of the room
at the Convention Center.
Of course, I will also be on another panel, which is the MENA panel, MENA Creators. That's going to be on Saturday, July 26th from 11 to 12 at the Grand Marriott Marquis, which is the hotel right next to Comic-Con.
Right across, yeah.
We're recording this a few weeks out. We're actually weirdly ahead of schedule for once.
Yeah.
This year. So I don't actually have the room number yet, but please just go check out my Instagram or my Blue Sky. I'm PermaFriends on Instagram and Covetarian on Blue Sky. I will post the room number there. I think unfortunately, every time there's one of these panels that's a MENA panel, I'm like, come to the panel. We're going to have some serious shit to talk about. And no, this is going to be the most intense, I think, out of all of them.
I think so.
Considering the events of the past few weeks. So come show your support. Come listen to us talk about how traumatizing it is for us to continue creating media for y'all to enjoy. While, as you said, Hannah, you're watching videos on Instagram stories of people that look like you and are the same nationality and ethnicity of you getting bombed and killed and arrested illegally, and in between pictures videos of that and cooking videos, both of which are stuff that I've also seen. I also like cooking videos, of course, but it's weird. It's a very strange time. I'm giving you a preview now of the kind of shit that I'm going to be talking about.
It is it is an odd time, and that we're not equipped to handle unless we are a community. So please,
like our communist friends, who created the Ren Fair.
Come and bring that Ren Fair energy to the MENA panel.
Drape yourself in velvet,
in crushed velvet, like
George Costanza,
exactly. And I'm going to be there the whole weekend at BB01, booth BB01. So come by. I can draw your pets. I can, give you a high five. We can talk.
You're making it really enticing. I'm sorry.
I
It
got
sounds
some
like people really want to
I got some
come.
new prints. Everything's gonna
Yeah.
be awesome. Here's my new prints. It's like on the screen. And yeah. So thanks, guys. And
Okay.
please follow us and please rate this podcast on Apple or whatever
Yep.
or wherever.
Spotify, Apple. Please leave a
Spotify,
review. We need
leave a
reviews
review.
and we need engagement.
We
Go
need-
on the
yeah.
YouTube and just make some stupid joke about
Just-
whatever it is that we're talking about.
If you're watching this on YouTube, just type something random right now. Anything.
As always, thank you to Alyssa. Thanks for everybody listening. And Hannah, thank you. It was a wonderful tab yet again. And
Likewise.
until the next time, I will. Oh, what are we going to call this now? Okay, so there was the Gwen Stefani tribute toilet. Now we're going to have the Nixon, like Air Force One toilet in the sky. What are we going to call it?
The sky toilet.
But the
Nixon
Secundus
sky toilet. Oh.
But let's keep it like literary, right? What is who's the guy with the wings, melting wings? Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Icarus.
Nixon's Icarus shit toilet.
Icarus.
Because he shat too close to the sun.
There it is. I'll see you in the Air Force One Nixon toilet.
I need Icarus to be part of this. Icarus Nixon.
Okay, Icarus.
Secundus Icarus Nixon. I'll see you at the Secundus Icarus Nixon toilet. That's canon.
Ooh, I'll see you there. I don't want to repeat it. It's a long word. It's so dumb.
Bye.
Bye. See you. Bye.